Hello, class. Thank you for joining us on the training session for motivational interviewing, where you'll learn how to help people adapt real changes in their mindsets and actions. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm joined with my colleagues, Ashley and Gabriel. We'll start off with some scenarios to show that this technique can be used in multiple areas of work. Then we'll provide you with the roots of what motivational interviewing is and how to do it. Finally, we'll put it all together and hear a real MI interaction take place. Please meet Lucia, Howie, and Elizabeth. Lucia is a 56-year-old male with type 2 diabetes. He feels trapped for time in the mornings, and this leads him to making unhealthy breakfast choices. Howie has been with his company for 5 years. Recently, however, the company set forth new workflows, and Howie feels that the old way of doing things is just fine and does not want to adapt to the new workflows. Finally, meet Elizabeth. She's new to her company, but her supervisor notices that she's been coming into work late with increasing frequency. What do all of these scenarios have in common? Lucia, Howie, and Elizabeth need to adapt intrinsic willingness to change for their physical health and the health of their workplaces, respectively. My colleague Ashley will give you a background and lay out the steps of motivational interviewing.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Motivational interviewing, otherwise known as MI, was developed originally by a clinical psychologist by the name of William R. Roenick in 1983. He first introduced this strategy to help his patients who were dealing with substance abuse and were having a hard time adhering to their treatment plans. This strategy, MI, was also furthered by Dr. Stephen Roenick and has been able to apply this technique to other industries such as criminal justice, education, counseling, and even the military. MI is defined as an individual counseling approach to resolve ambivalence to bring out behavioral change. So one might ask, why is it so hard to change behavior? According to the Experienced Motivational Interviewing Network of Trainers, they would say some barriers include feelings of uncertainty, being scared, lack of confidence for change, lack of motivation for change. Pressure may be built up on an issue from external sources and may also cause internal frustrations. Next slide, please. There have been a lot of studies on MI in different industries. One example is in healthcare, a case study that had a clinical trial of 60 women who had diagnosis of type 2 diabetes were studied against a control group to test the significance of MI on treatment plans. The adherence to the treatment plans using MI as a strategy was significantly higher than those that were in a control group. In addition, these women's blood glucose sugar levels were significantly lower. In other studies, such as in the U.S. Army, there have been training manuals that have been developed based on empirical data that were used and adapted to coach soldiers in the Army. Next slide, please. There are 5 general principles when it comes to motivational interviewing. The first is showing empathy. Number 2 is amplifying discrepancy. Number 3 is resisting arguing. Number 4 is rolling with the resistance. Number 5 is supporting self-efficacy. It should be noted and that you should keep in mind that this strategy and skill set is used to have tough conversations with someone who isn't hopeful of the outcome. This technique is not used to convince someone to do what you want them to do. American psychologists would say it's a crucial component of efficacy, and this is a collaborative effort with someone and not an authoritarian effort. Gabriel will begin to describe each of these steps in further detail.
Thank you, Ashley. To help you apply these principles in a general business setting, we have created a quick training video. This simulation will equip you with the necessary tools and techniques to unlock your full potential as a leader and inspire others to achieve their personal and professional goals. First, we have express empathy. Empathy involves understanding and accepting the other person's perspective, even when it differs from your own. Building positive relationships and collaborations are also essential components.
Hi Elizabeth, thanks for coming to talk with me today. How are you doing?
Hi Gabriel, I'm doing okay. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I understand how difficult it can be to balance work and personal life, and I appreciate all the hard work you've been doing lately.
Thank you. I've been trying my best.
Here you can see that the manager effectively demonstrates empathy towards the challenges of the job. In this step, it's necessary to point out the discrepancies you notice between the person's goal and behavior.
That's great to hear. However, I want to point out that you've mentioned that your job is the most important thing to you, but I've noticed that you've been showing up late every day. Can you tell me more about that?
I know, I've been having a hard time getting up in the morning. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with everything that's been going on lately.
I understand, it can be tough balancing work and personal life. I'm here to support you. What's been going on?
Well, I've been feeling overwhelmed with my workload and have been struggling to stay motivated.
Here, it's important to amplify the discrepancies in a non-judgmental way. The third step is probably one of the hardest steps if you're trying to motivate someone. However, it is important to keep the conversation focused on the facts.
I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds really challenging. How could I help you?
Well, I've been struggling to meet my deadlines and I know I've been showing up late to work.
I hear you, and I appreciate you being honest about it. I also want to point out that being on time is important to meet our goals as a team.
I know, but it's just been really difficult with everything that is going on.
Here we can see that the manager attempts to offer assistance, but the employee responds with resistance. So the manager seeks to understand the employee's perspective. The fourth step is roll with resistance. Here is where you should show the other person the consequences of not changing the behavior.
I can understand that. Can you help me understand why your colleagues might be saying that you're not meeting expectations?
I just don't have enough time to get everything done.
I hear you. What do you think might happen if you continue to struggle with meeting your deadlines?
I guess it could affect our team's performance.
This part involves avoiding ordering the person to do something different, as it often triggers a defensive response. In the fifth and final step, you must make the other person feel confident and affirm the positive progress.
That's a great point. Let's work together to come up with a plan that works for you. Can you think of one small thing you can commit to doing to improve your productivity?
Maybe I can start by prioritizing my tasks and focusing on the most important ones first.
That's a great idea. How about we schedule a weekly check-in to review your progress and see if we need to make any adjustments? Would that work for you?
Yes, that sounds great.
Here, the manager encourages the employee to take personal responsibility by collaborating to establish a goal with realistic and achievable action steps. Follow-up is also essential to keep the behavior change of the employee. Motivational interviewing is a versatile tool that was originally formulated to aid individuals struggling with substance abuse. However, as Elizabeth and Ashley pointed out, it can be adapted to various scenarios and industries. As a professional and soon to be graduate, following these steps can significantly enhance your leadership skills and career prospects.
We conclude our training course with a quote by artist and filmmaker Andy Warhol. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. As leaders, we can help our peers inspire beneficial, lasting changes from within. We wish you luck in implementing these techniques in your respective careers, and we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.